It is important to emphasize that fair recruitment as a determining step to secure decent work is a key labor issue. Human and labor rights must be protected by governments and respected by businesses throughout global supply chains. Workers' rights during a recruitment process are equal, regardless of being recruited through national or transnational process. My name is Ira Rahmawati. I coordinate ITUC's work on fair recruitment with trade unions. Welcome to the ILO Masterclass on Fair Recruitment. Having thorough understanding of the needs and issues faced by workers during the recruitment process, trade unions are key actors in activities to combat unfair recruitment and its links to trafficking and forced labor. In order to ensure fair recruitment, trade unions must be actively engaging in social dialogue and tripartite discussion on the recruitment process, including recruitment of migrant workers, to influence national legislation and policies on fair recruitment and fair migration. And at the field level, creating awareness, protecting, informing, and organizing workers, as well as identifying and reporting abuses and violence. Trade unions should include recruitment issues in social dialogue or collective bargaining and raise awareness of the practical and commercial realities of seeking a job, including overseas jobs, and provide accessible and transparent information on recruitment options and workers' rights during recruitment. Trade unions act as a watchdog regarding unfair recruitment practices and contribute to better transparency in recruitment processes. They can identify recruitment abuses and provide workers with targeted assistance and support, including legal support, and they can engage in social dialogue and lobby for policy and regulatory reform. Definitely, trade unions' efforts in organizing and increasing the representation of workers, including migrant workers who are vulnerable during recruitment process, without a doubt, are the most important aspect to ensure fair recruitment for decent work for all workers. By leading in promoting a rights-based approach to a labor migration and recruitment, trade unions that organize migrant workers strengthen their organization. Global solidarity and cooperation among union in origin and destination countries remain fundamental in building migrant workers' collective power to protect their rights. Migrant workers, regardless of their status, are first of all workers, but above all, human beings. As such, they have rights including freedom of associations, the right to form or to join a trade union, a right that trade unions in many countries still need to advocate to be legalized and implemented. Protecting rights of migrant workers is the best way to protect the rights of national workers and avoid attempts to place migrant and national workers in competition with each other, as this would only serve the interest of unscrupulous employers and recruiters looking for cheap labor. While workers need a new social contract that delivers recovery and resilience based on the security of jobs, rights, universal social protection, this cannot be realized without equality and inclusion for all workers, including migrant workers, and without a fair recruitment process as the first act in establishing an employment relationship for decent work. The ILO General Principles and Operational Guidelines for Fair Recruitment, supplemented by the definition of fees and related costs in the context of recruitment, were adopted at the ILO between governments, workers, and employers, and outline what the precise respective responsibilities are of government, recruiters, and employers to ensure the workers' rights are protected and respected. The principles reiterate that workers should not have to pay recruitment fees or related costs. Workers should be free to move within a country or leave the country and should be free to terminate their employment. Workers should have access to free or affordable dispute resolution mechanism and remedies in case of abuse. Since 2017, trade unions have started working on promoting fair recruitment using Recruitment Advisor website that is set up by the ITUC with the support of ILO Fair Recruitment Initiative. Recruitment Advisor is a global recruitment and employment review platform providing migrant workers easy access to information about recruitment agencies and workers' rights when looking for a job outside their home country. Currently, the website is actively used by trade unions in Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Indonesia, the Philippines, Kenya, Ghana, Bahrain, and Jordan. Together with civil society organizations, the unions reach out to migrant workers with the mission to raise awareness on the workers' rights to be fairly recruited based on ILO fair recruitment principles and to encourage workers to share their experience for other workers to learn from their recruitment experience. Unionized workers are more informed. This can avoid exploitation. However, when there is a governance failure and no law enforcement, then slavery can flourish. By keeping the principles of solidarity, shared responsibility, multilateralism, and engagement, concrete collaboration should be increased among governments, employers, recruiters, and trade unions to advance fair recruitment. Ultimately, all have a shared interest in fair recruitment. Together, we will stop unscrupulous recruitment practices. Fair recruitment is a right for all workers.